How hard its band of fans have fought to keep the line to Severn Beach that runs from Bristol Temple Meads. How doggedly did they beseech the councillors and fat controllers, the bureaucrats and city rollers, that trains should never cease to serve the stations on this unique line that runs through cuttings deep and long, past houses mean and mansions fine, that soars on arches over town and plunges dark 'neath Clifton Down, that carries hundreds every day to work, to school, to see the sights, young mothers with their shopping bags who trail their kids like satellites, publishers and old professors, filing clerks and men's hairdressers, commuters on the way to Bath, cyclists starting their day's outing, texting girls and blazered pupils, tilers with a tub of grouting, all use this rattling diesel train that shuttles up and down again, through Lawrence Hill on busy lines, then branching off on single track past builders' yards and junior schools, allotments green and terrace backs, Stapleton Road, Montpellier, Redland and its station atelier, where craftsmen work with cloth and wood, restoring Chesterfields and chairs, in the waiting room and office where once the porter had his lair. All station buildings have been changed, their purposes quite rearranged. On to Clifton and the tunnel, 1 mile through Bristol's rock and clay, emerging blinking by the Avon, this route now travelled every day. Close by Sea Mills it spans a stream, once port for a Roman quinquereme. Next stop is Shire, then Avonmouth, a faded, sometimes lonely place, where the yellow smoke from smelters no longer leaves its grimy trace, where turbines turn slow in the breeze, and the cars unshipped are Japanese. St Andrew's Road is optional, o'ertopped by crumbling gaunt decay. Who would ask the train to stop here, amongst this dank concrete array? Let's hurry to the end of the line, and the terminus which once stood fine. Severn Beach, Bristol's own Blackpool. That's what they said in days gone by, when the trippers came from Birmingham to the blue lagoon 'neath open sky, where bathing beauties smiled and twirled in a golden age and a different world.
I don't need a bridge. A horn of rum, yes. I had a bridge once, a tree across a stream. My own secret bridge in the woods, the jungle of home, where I was the secret, till they told me the real secret. Slave boy, not just boy. I was already drunk when the poets showed up, a dope and a doper. They seemed okay. I spit in their wine anyway. I was dreaming of my island and the shade of the baobab tree at Pinner's house, Montraver's, before we came to Racedown and Great George Street. We traveled like Cork, my sisters and I, and like Cork I went back, a floating island, bumping black coral and gravestones of sugar. I don't need a bridge. A horn of rum, yes. I had a bridge once, a tree across a stream.
rebels of the urban sprawl spray wild designs upon the wall. Is it art or vulgar scrawl adorning our fair city? Preferring to be out of sight, always ready to take flight, imposing images at night, ghost painters without pity. They're all anti-establishment. They don't approve of government. The nature of their art had meant big problems for the city. Through their street art they would invent the slogans of their discontent. They sprayed on walls with ill intent that often wasn't pretty. From rotting squats they would emerge to give in to their graphic urge, and many people cursed the scourge imposed upon the city. They all disdain the 9 to 5. Their urban art keeps them alive, though some think that their life's a skive, and presence is a pity. Art history's a funny thing. What starts out as a rebel fling ends up in praises people sing all over the fair city. Blank walls wait for art to show. Now Banksy's style basks in the glow. These Bristol art scenes, Romeo, mysteriously witty. Yes, this new art has got respect. It's worth so much we must protect it in a space we all inspect, the galleries of the city. Now tourists come from far and wide. Street art is part of Bristol pride. We love this art we'd once deride. So God bless a Bristol city.
This is the lake I knew once, the Etruscan lake. The child between boyhood and youth, like a heron fledgling, tumbling forward under the clouds. Was that you? Was that you? Who is the lady, water lily, at the heart of the lake, floating, priestess, like a balm, like a healing, in her red cap, flamboyant, sacred, heart of an image, floating. The picnickers rest like ducks. The wind shuffles the feathers of the duck and rustles the feathers of the wheat and the bulrushes, gentle in the course of light. Etruscan children leaping spontaneously backwards into the water like salmon. This is the lake I knew once, the Etruscan lake.
The walls of this haven are covered with charts, paintings and photos like old weathered marks. But no anchors drag in the harbour outside, no tall ship masts silhouette the sky. Only one silent mariner gazes out to the sea, waits for the tall ships to return to the quay, bringing cotton from Bombay, rubber from Ceylon, tobacco from Virginia, silk from Hong Kong. Only water taxis and booze cruises disturb the still air as the Great Britain rests in her dry dock there, as the Matthews motor purrs on through the brine to the chatter of tourists dressed up so fine. Only one silent mariner gazes out to the sea, waits for the tall ships to return to the quay, bringing cotton from Bombay, rubber from Ceylon, tobacco from Virginia, silk from Hong Kong. This old port has lost its soul, so they say. Cabot won't return, he drowned far away. No more tales of daring resound round tavern walls to the clinking of tankards and brawls in the hall. Only one silent mariner gazes out to the sea, waits for the tall ships to return to the quay, bringing cotton from Bombay, rubber from Ceylon, tobacco from Virginia, silk from Hong Kong. Framed by chains, shadowed by a tall hat, dwarfed by giant ships, drawn along wide-gauge rail track. Iron will, iron ways, cast iron industrial days. Persuasive, adamantine, precocious, driven by steam, riveting his impact on the green undulating land. Tunnels blown with dynamite, blood and death. Iron will, iron ways, cast iron industrial days. Dreamer of engineered greatness that spanned a gorge, crossed the globe with speed to the Antipodes. Living nearby, you never saw your gorge suspended. You had reached too far in all your designs. Your body was not made to last as long as cast iron, rivet, girder and stone. Iron will, iron ways, cast iron industrial days.
Who will join me on the diesel to Easton, taking the train to Stapleton Road, from Clifton Down and its bourgeois delights? It won't be the mothers with high-spec babies in high-spec buggies that crowd out the floors of Clifton cafes and delicatessens, their designer clutch bags bulging with purpose and arnica sprays. It won't be the shoppers with their gluten-free habits who grill the retailers about the food history of the crisps and flapjacks they seek to consume. They'll be lucky to get any change from a tenner as they pay for their mid-morning treats. Who will join me on the diesel to Easton? It won't be the fee-paying uniformed schoolgirls with their push-up bras that have little to push, whose piercing voices and "oh my God" screeches reveal a vacuum that nature's abhorring. It won't be the women in Jimmy Choo shoes whose feet have been nibbled by red suckerfish as they sit for their treatments in beauty spa outlets. And it won't be the school kids with their violin cases and their perfect PowerPoint homework assignments that Mummy and Daddy have slaved to complete. Because when you alight at Stapleton Road, the language, the colour, the costumes, the smells welcome you into a country of countries, as different from Clifton as fish is from fowl. Here the streets are a mixture of halal and rasta, of Sikh and Christian, the godless as well. There are cultural centres for faiths and non-faiths. There are mosques and temples and Methodist chapels. There's a food shop that sells 6 species of yam, fish from the Ganges and rice by the sackload, fruit from Jamaica and pickles from Poland, green ladies' fingers and baskets of naan. Here beauty shops crow about beads and cornrows, relaxers, straighteners and human hair wigs. What is the price of such beauty as striking as any seen in the salons of Clifton? There's no Oxfam bookshop in Stapleton Road, but a fancy goods store sells holy Qurans, prayer mats and prayer hats mixed in with dusters, ironing board covers and waste paper baskets. In Easton's cafes, the men sit and chatter, quite relaxed in that fleeting moment of home, sipping coffees costing half of a latte when bought in the purlieus of White Ladies Road. Who will join me on the diesel to Easton and purchase a ticket to Stapleton Road, where cultures are swirling and pennies are counted, and home is Bristol and miles away.
These havens, awash with the life and growth of nature, where the dead rest, their particular fascination grows a feeling in living forms that wander, a slowing down, drawing in, flowing out. A quietness falls softly. We are invited into another world, full and light with spirit, and a soft calm where they have touched. And all around nature springs and spreads brazen, ever living, ever changing, where those dead to us, transformed into something other, roam easy, spreading stillness, touching oceans within us, these depths, rich soil of our being, too often hidden. Untouched by their lives, we honour this passing into death and beyond, speak it through monument and form, so many angels. And nature in her flurry growth and decay, joins in, ever present, accompanying. Uniting with this river, we feel eternal life concentrated, brimming and showering like blossoms. Hush now, it is time to leave them. The sun is slipping. A dusky light descends. Day winding down, that all may rest.